Okay guys, so in this video we're going to talk about Netflix stocks. So Netflix is one of my favorite stocks to own. I've been holding a long position in Netflix for over a year, and I like to continuously add to the stock. One of the nice features about a lot of the broker apps right now, like Fidelity and Robinhood, to name a few, is that you can buy partial shares. So even though the stock price is well over $500, you're able to basically add even if you're not able to acquire one share at a time. But what I really like about Netflix is that this year I've been kind of investing a lot more in companies that I personally use, whereas last year I was kind of just trying to buy stocks that I thought were going to go up. So I've been doing a lot better with this. So like I said, with Netflix coming up, basically the reason why I think Netflix stocks is a no-brainer is simply because, even though a lot of global lockdowns have kind of been pushed back, a lot of people are still staying at home, and when you're at home you're spending a lot of time in the house and you're kind of hesitant to go out. Maybe if you're working from home or something like that, what are you going to do in your downtime? So there really isn't much else to do. Obviously there's people that like to read and play video games and things like that, but I think that Netflix is going to see an absolute explosion in use these last 2 quarters. So the Q3 numbers are going to come out on October 20th, and let's take a look at exactly what analysts kind of are expecting and what Netflix kind of gave some guidance. So if we go over here, this is what happened last quarter. Netflix gained 10 million subscribers. Of course, the global lockdowns basically forced people to stay in. So as you can see here, Netflix ended Q2 with 193 million paid subscribers, and they're only projecting around 2.5 million in the third quarter. But I think that number is a bit too conservative because a lot of countries experience second waves with the pandemic and things like that. And like I said, I think a lot of people are adding Netflix this year. A lot of people that perhaps were either going to cut the cord anyway, spending more time at home, whether they're going to school, homeschooling, or working from home, or they've been laid off, or a lot of people have just retired. So a lot of baby boomers have simply just stopped working because of the pandemic. Maybe they're in their 60s or 70s and they just retired. So, there's a lot of people that are going to be spending a lot of time at home in the future. And I think that only helps Netflix. So, as we can take a look at the numbers, Netflix is always, doing a great job in terms of revenue. Last quarter they brought in over $6 billion and earned $1.81 per share. So like I said, you're really not going to lose much with Netflix. They added 26 million paid subscribers in the first half of the year. That's just absolutely phenomenal, and I expect that Netflix is going to have a lot more growth overseas. So if we take a look at Goldman Sachs, actually Goldman Sachs raised the price target for Netflix from $600 to $670, and I think that price target is way too conservative in my opinion. Netflix is easily a $1,000 stock. So why is Netflix a $1,000 stock? Well, guys, I'm going to show you guys some numbers based upon how I think Netflix is very, very predictable business model. Okay, so a lot of people are talking about Netflix, a lot of haters are saying Netflix is going to face too much competition from Disney. Netflix is going to see a decrease in subscribers. But according to the earnings per share, we just haven't seen this. So as you can take a look at this graph, Netflix has just absolutely experienced an absolute exponential growth in earnings per share. And that's one of the reasons why we're seeing such a huge, bump in the stock. So as you can see here, earnings per share, we're doing pretty well. And then all of a sudden, recently, it's just been taking off. So, and you can see that in the trailing 12 months graphs, guys. Even in the quarterly chart, you can see that Netflix was chugging along, and then there is an explosion of growth. So this company is still under 200 million subscribers. So let's take a look at it. We're probably looking at around 7 to 8 billion people on the earth, and around 50% of people still don't have access to high-speed internet. So Netflix has around 193 million. I don't think it's far-fetched to see that Netflix could easily have 700 million subscribers in the future. That means only 10%, just 10% of the world's population will have a Netflix subscription. And of course, obviously, a lot of people can share Netflix subscriptions. Like if you can set up to, I think you can set up to like 4 accounts on any Netflix package, and families can share the same Netflix plan. So maybe a more realistic assertion would be like 700 million households over the world. So I don't think that's out of line, and that means that Netflix would be growing its subscriber base over 3 times. So that's why I think if Netflix can easily grow their subscriber base over 3 times, and the earnings per share is going to continue to go up like it has, it's been doing quite well for some time now. I don't see any reason why Netflix isn't a $1,000 stock. And I mean, if we take a look at this is just a year-to-date chart, you can see that Netflix is up. I believe it's up. Okay, it's up 64% year-to-date, so it's pretty good. But if we take a look at the all-time graph of Netflix stock, and we take a look here, we can see that this is exponential growth. So, you know, ever since basically around, I would say 2015 to 2016, the stock has just been skyrocketing. So this is just the beginning, because with 5G, people are going to have much faster mobile connections, and Netflix is going to pick up a lot of mobile subscribers. A lot of people subscribe to Netflix. They watch it on their mobile phone. So anything that makes internet faster is going to be good for streaming stocks, especially Netflix. And the fact that Disney basically went all in on streaming shows how much Netflix is already ahead of everyone else. The fact that Disney, you know, one of the largest corporations in the world, basically threw out their strategy and just said, let's just follow Netflix and go all in on streaming. I think that Netflix is poised as a great place to grow, you know, basically continue to grow exponentially. The good thing about Netflix is that every subscriber they add, the company's only going to get better. They're going to have more people's input, so they can find out what kind of content people want to watch, and they're going to have more money, and they can raise their prices. And a lot of times with Netflix, for me personally, I've had my Netflix subscription for years. It's not something that I'm canceling or I'm going in and out of. So it's not like a phase thing or something like that. It's usually something that you just keep. And it's just so much cheaper than, you know, spending money on movie tickets and things like that. I mean, it's just a no-brainer. You know, you pay a couple bucks and you can watch not just all these movies, but all your favorite TV shows and stuff like that. So, you know, I talk about a lot of stocks on this channel. Some stocks are obviously trades that you want to play. You kind of want to, you know, buy it and try to sell it high. You know, perhaps it's like going up on high volume. And then I also talk about dividend stocks, dividend growth stocks. But for me, Netflix is a buy and hold. You just don't sell it. Netflix is one of those stocks that if you buy it now and you sell it for a little bit of profit, a year or two from now, 3 years, 5 years from now, you're going to wish you still held your shares. So for me, that's what it's been. I've just been holding on to Netflix, buying on dips, and just trying to build a position over time. And the compounded annual growth rates with Netflix is just so amazing, guys. I want to show you guys these numbers. I keep talking about these numbers, but the reason I talk about these numbers is because you can use these numbers to kind of extrapolate where the stock price is going to head in the future, because obviously if the stock is compounding at a certain rate, you can use that as a conservative estimate that will continue in the future, especially with a company like Netflix, where the business model, I mean, even a 5-year-old can understand. Okay, so here I am again on Morningstar.com. So you can find this information on trailing returns. You just type in the ticker symbol and you can find this on trailing returns. So why do I use trailing returns? So you guys have been following my channel for a while. You know that I like to take emotions out when I'm buying stocks. If I'm buying a stock and I plan to hold it for a long time, I want to see those compounded annual growth rates. And with Netflix, that's exactly what we've got. Over the last 10 years, 37%. Over the last 15 years, 38%. And, you know, up 67% year to date. So, like I said, the business model is very easy to understand. With every new subscriber Netflix gets, the service is only going to get better. And they've got plans to expand in India. So I still think, obviously, if you guys haven't, the best time to bought Netflix would have been, you know, 5 years ago, and even better time to bought it 10 years ago. But I still think there's a lot of upside left in Netflix. And with, you know, the change in kind of the global economy, even you can see now with a lot of companies are changing the way they do business. A lot of companies are having employees work from home. A lot of things are just changing, guys. So I think Netflix was already way ahead of everyone when they just focused on streaming. They launched their streaming service, you know, 13 years ago. Pretty much one of the only companies out there that were streaming a lot of video content. Obviously, YouTube started in 2006, but you know, they're just the king of streaming, and you're not going to really go wrong. Even if you see some short-term dips in the stock price, I think long-term Netflix is an excellent buy. And it's a stock that I do not plan on selling for a long time. I like their business model. Yes, they have some controversies here and there with some of their content, but you know, what else are you going to do at home? You're going to watch Netflix. And, you know, it's been, with teenagers, Netflix is the most popular app that teenagers use. So you got the future is going to use Netflix as well. So just a strong buy here. So guys, I think Netflix is going to have a big pop. So I want to talk about one more last thing on how you can play the stock with options. So, you know, if Netflix stock pops, I think they're going to have pretty strong subscriber numbers. You can buy some call options on this, and basically in anticipation of the stock moving much higher, or if you just want to go long, you just buy long shares. So that's what I'm doing, guys. Full disclosure, I'm a Netflix shareholder. I plan on adding some more shares in a few days. I wish I could add before, you know, I'm moving some funds around, so I wish I could add before the earnings release, but it looks like I'm just going to have to add after, even if the stock hits 600 or more, which I think it will. So either way, I'm still long Netflix. So that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. So please smash that red subscribe button if you enjoy my content. And I plan to upload more videos on these, I call them hyper growth stocks, that can make you guys a lot of money, growing at around 30 to 40% compounded annual growth per year, guys. So you put some money in some of these stocks. This money is going to compound for you the next 5, 10, 20 years, and you're going to have a nice cushy retirement if you just buy these stocks and hold on to them for the long run. So that's it now, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video. Until next time, take care.